Vegas. Las Vegas, Nevada. You know, Viva Las Vegas. And the truth of the matter is that failure for the African American community in the public education system has just been accepted. It is unacceptable to me. And then we have an election coming up. An election in which we are all facing the devastating thoughts of watching Donald Trump run around America as he is the biggest rules violator that I've ever seen on television. Who wants to be a millionaire is how he got to be El Presidente, and he would like to be known as the president of these United States. The buses are rolling. The buses do roll. That's the one thing I can say in Nevada. The buses are always rolling. You get it? No children on the bus, but they are rolling. But we need to understand in the year of 20 and 24 just where we are. Where are we? Are we there yet? I don't believe so. We have not made it. I don't want to start a poll, but I can share when I figure it out. Over here somewhere. There we go. I can share on Facebook. I can share. Where did I get that? No. No, 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 no. Sharing. On WhatsApp. When back to back to the chat. But the deal is that in the year of 2024, where you would assume that perhaps you would find certain things, they're just not happening. And I say, well, I can't imagine ACP, but we haven't had an event. I think an event is necessary. I think that because all of the black performers are going to be down on that strip very, very soon. This is the first summer after, the freedom of COVID. COVID is over, but everybody could plan. And what did that look like? I don't know. The American Rescue Plan is real. And they just had dollars. Well, whatever. Let's see. All that. Okay, that's it. We'll do it like that. And I don't know. They have tools here. Let's see what we can find. I don't have any highlight. Oh, I don't know. What is that one? That's fine. Supreme Court hears a presidential immunity. I wonder if they're going to give him immunity because, that's real. He should have no immunity as he was the president, and he knows exactly what he was doing. I'm so sick and tired of the lack of engagement. And it's so easy to drift off into Neverland because all you have to do is turn the television on and you are captivated, and they know exactly where you are at all times because the devices in your home tell everybody what you're doing. So let's just think a little bit clearer, and the clear understanding that in the year of 2024 in Las Vegas, it is deafening. I mean, I can't stand it anymore as I see organizations of community, of color, of change, and they're not really addressing the issue. And the issue is that I'm not lying to myself. I see what's happening in the black community, and they're all off into their world. And Anthem, up there in Anthem, when my sister lives, well, she's one of those people, and they live into a different world. An earthquake reported near Henderson. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel a thing, not one thing. But anyways, let's just talk. That's what I said. Let's just talk because there are lots of retired African American people that were influential, that have moved here in Nevada, yet and still they live in their little box and they do their little things, and every day goes by and every day goes by, and we have all these not-for-profit agencies feeding off of our tax dollars because they just keep the federal dollars. They don't give it back to the people. If you're poor, you got to pay your share, whatever you paid in. Well, guess what, boo? You're not getting anything back. I'm so blessed to have a mother's. What are we talking about? I'm just so blessed and highly favored. Do you not understand? I do. I understand blessings and I understand lessons and I understand that this is America and I am a citizen. Now, we should play nice together, and I have tried to play nice, and I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of not seeing any organized efforts of the community to bring in more community help. We just have all of these retired individuals living here in the little boxes, and they just don't come out. But they are being harvested just like everyone else. You don't understand the game until you see the game. All right, so let's just talk about the first little game that I'm dealing with right now. NV Energy. NV Energy gets to charge you a rate, and the rate is based on the highest usage of the year before. Well, NV Energy said that my usage was high, and it really was because my mother was on medical equipment and she was living in the home. Well, she died in December of 2022, and all of the medical equipment went out the door. So for the 2023 year, well, somehow my bill just kept going up higher and higher. No medical equipment, no usage of electricity, really. Because, see, this is a time of the year where it's just nice. And if you open up your windows, that you don't have to use a lot of energy because it's not cold anymore. But we have a new roof and we didn't have to worry about anything until we start getting the bills. By July, my bill was over $400 and I just didn't have it. I entered into this agreement. An agreement? What type of agreement? An agreement that says equal pay. So, but they base it on the usage of the highest usage of the year before. And then you just get billed that amount of money, not about what you use. And so in January, I got accepted into another program, which would be the solar rate. And I don't know how the solar rate works, but it didn't really matter. It's supposed to give you a little discount. And it's so small, it really doesn't make a difference because they really don't care. So anyway, somehow that didn't happen. And I said, oh, so they kicked me off the equal pay program. I said, and they wanted $1,600. And I'm saying, well, wasn't I giving you $180 a month? I can't see where my 180 came off for 6 months. And you can just charge whatever you feel you want to charge. Did you not know that in Nevada, they can't, the state prisons cannot pay the electric bill? They're too in the same boat. There's just no regulatory guidance here. There is no regulatory guidance here in Nevada. And you start to understand what I'm saying when you start to pay attention. They're building all these new homes. And they're not building new schools in these areas. All of these people will be looking for programs and, having intercourse and having babies and looking for resources. And these people are bound to grow and develop, but there are no new services. No, people are taking their children far, far away to have services, and then only to find out that these people, some people, just abuse these children. And we saw that on the news just the other day. But then when I started to understand willful defiance and behavioral issues can get you kicked out of a gifted and talented placement. And I'm saying that's federal money, boo. And without hearings, and just because you take the free and reduced money, you take the money from the federal government to provide services for the people in poverty. The obligation is to do what? Provide services. And so when the federal government is looking for the data, boo, of the manifestation determination hearings of those 104,000 children that were removed from their gifted and talented placements. And I'm saying, well, oh my, oh my, oh my, there is no data. And I'm saying, well, what should we do about that? And I'm saying, there's nothing to be done because we the people are just not participating. And somehow you only get to participate here in Nevada if you've been appointed to a board or commission. And then those people just operate in little tiny circles. And then they, I mean, it's something else when CPS can provide transitional housing for people who are going through eviction process because they have children. They have money to pay for hotels. I mean, this is about rubbing each other's hands and everybody's in everybody's pocket, and there's just no money for providing services to the people who are generating the money. Because, y'all don't even understand how the census actually works. Hell, the census, oh, that is a big rabbit over there. And I feel he got big old, I don't know, I don't think you can see him, but he's over there. Oh, he's running, he's hopping. There he is. You see the rabbit? There he is. Oh, yep. Oh, here he comes, but I don't know where he's going. We live in this field's always going to be empty simply because it has what? It has that power line right there. Oh, he's just getting his exercise on. Boy, he's quick. That is a jackrabbit. Yep. But anyways, I was talking about how it actually works. Because Nevada was a red state, and people need to understand how red states operate, with the Republican Party reaching to end all federal oversight. They would like to end the Department of Education. I'm saying, oh no, that can't be possible because the United States Department of Education, I mean, they've had all kinds of initiatives like Goals 2000 is when I first began to pay attention, and then Leave No Child Behind, and then the Every Child Succeed Act, and then Local Control Accountability Act, and there have just been all kinds of opportunities for states to adhere and ensure that all people have a basic access. And I'm saying, well, I don't know. This is so bright. I don't know. What is that? Oh, I don't know what that means. But anyway, let me see if I can change that one. I'll do that one. Let's see. Okay, you check it. I don't know. But anyways, I've learned to do what? I've learned to operate out here in the ethos, and I can just choose to live stream, or I could host a webinar, or I could Zoom a meeting. Oh, another empty bus. Bus is just empty, rushing to go somewhere. But, concerning. Truly, I am concerned. I'm concerned simply because we are American people, and we have no place to operate. There's nothing to do. There's no work to do because nobody's decided what the work will be. And I said, oh, here I am, and I'll have a seat. It's not quite so early. There we go. Oh, my executive chair. Oh, goodness, yes. And so here we are, and I realize exactly where I am. I know where I am. I'm living in Las Vegas. It's not that I'm rushing down to the strip. No, that's not happening. I do go out and gamble sometime. And the funny part is that I thought, oh, maybe I'll raise some money from, my talks. Because I've done a lot of work out here, but I don't get paid. I don't do the work to get paid. I do the work so we'll have a process in which we can all participate in. And everybody is gifted, and God has given us so many gifts. But when the people who have the real gifts, like Usher and Snoop, and Eddie Murphy and anybody who's ever been blessed with all that money who are paying those top dollar taxes because, Nipsey could have talked about it if he'd still been living because he realized he paid $100,000 on the first million that he made. That's a lot of money. But when those monies come back to the state based on the census and based on the number of people who are generating those funds, those resources are supposed to be developed by the state. So Nevada just has this committee called IFC. I don't know who's in charge of the committee, but the governor has his own ad hoc committee to do things when he can't get his people to do what he's asked them to do. And I'm saying, oh, is that how it works? And then I realize that all these NGOs and non governmental agencies, well, they just get all the money here because I needed some money. I needed some help with my goddamn NV energy bill. And I went through this all day event over there at the Orleans. And I had to have all my information, but when I went from table to table, they already knew everything about me. I just had to show up. And guess what they gave me? They gave me $105 on a Nevada power bill that was over 1,000. And I'm saying 1,000. I don't even understand. My house is only little. It is not a huge. It is a little house, and I'm saying, but I don't know how we're using all that energy. But who am I? I am nobody, and I am. I mean, the whole thing is that in America, this is what you need to understand. Who the hell are you going to tell? Because I'm promising you, when you go to, I have practiced it. I practice and I practice and I am expert at it. So when I email you and you want to block me, it goes a red light. Did you not know that you as a public servant and you can't be blocking the public? But apparently people don't understand that that's evidence. And did you not know that everything you do is documented? Because what? We have this thing called fault tolerance. And fault tolerance just collects everything. So everybody who thinks that they could delete something, the cloud already got it. It's like they already ate it. You say, God damn, they already ate it. Just the mere fact that you put it out there. It means it is out there in the ethos. And anybody could have snatched it while you was doing it. Anybody. All these thousands and trillions of artificial intelligence telling you what? Everything you might need to know about being what? Well, I'm just 65 and I don't know shit. I promise you that I don't. I mean, I went to some of these trainings by these training providers here in Nevada, and I'm saying, oh Lord. And then I watched West Ed, but what they don't understand is I recorded their ass talking about how they're going to help Nevada get a different interpretation of at risk. Well, goddamn, they're spending all this time trying to redefine what at risk really means and what is at risk. At risk is Title One, neglected and delinquent, economic impact aid. It's all of these federal dollars coming to help what? Oh, something called public. Well, where is the public here? And so I demanded to create a platform to have a conversation because people don't seem to want to have this conversation. I know so many people, I have met so many people, and people don't talk anymore. No, they spend a lot of time sitting in front of the idiot box and eating because you just can't imagine. I can't imagine having an ass 84 inches around that my feet would have to carry at 65. There's just no way. Because people do have feet, and your feet got to work all the time, not just sometimes. And I just don't even understand anymore. And so I can talk to myself 24/7. I don't have to have anybody to talk to. It is going to be critical and urgent that we understand the fierce urgency of this moment. Because in the year of 2024, before this election happens, and we ain't talking about the inability of our children to receive real services. How we don't have to pretend we don't understand tantruming. I'm telling you, even as an adult, anybody can go from 0 to 100. but they have to understand that they are too in control of the 100. You know, meaning that you ain't got to go to 100 if you don't know if you don't know, and uh, and if you understand the situation you put yourself in by going to 100. And people, I hear people describing it like degrees, like the first degree or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Choice is everything. Trials and tribulations, boo. But if you don't know anything about that, I promise you, you will. Our world is going to go through so many changes because things have begun to happen. I mean, when there's no more ice up there in Alaska, and they're encouraging you to go up there and plant because the soil is so rich. It's just been under the ice for so long. And it's just rich soil because now there's no ice up there. It really doesn't matter. People have always migrated from places to places, but I'm trying to understand this lack of family, this lack of tribalism, this lack of unity, because in our nation was built on the basis of coming together, especially when we fought through the civil rights era. You know, I don't know all about civil rights, but I know enough. I'm surviving. That's right. And I know about sharing information, and I know how to access information. Oh, they're hearing the president. I'm waiting to see what they do because, see, they cannot give Donald Trump immunity. It's going to destroy our nation because everybody who would choose to do what? And see, that's why Congress is busy right now going through the January 6th assessment. This has been 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, the January, we all watched it from television. We all watched from home. And since we do watch television, we're just human capital. And they can guarantee, oh, what is it? What was it? The Black Panther movie. And, there are certain things that generate interest, that demonstrate which way we're going as a nation. Because I promise you, magazines had it. And we have magazine. Now we have streaming live channels. You can choose to pay attention, or you could choose to engage. That would be the ticket, because we're looking for people who can drive change and people who understand. We're really trying to teach people how to become independent thinkers. I mean, outside of the box. Yeah, I do this outside because we need to understand that life happens outside of that box. It don't happen inside the box. So, well, of course, you could have children and, make babies, but then those are responsibilities, and, those obligations are just obligations. And the sun seems to get in my face, and I'm trying to get it out. There we go. Oh, presidential immunity. Do you think Donald has it? I don't think so. I think it's time to quash it. I think it's time for him to really be guilty and him to not be allowed to run for presidente and the Republican Party to get off their asses. I'd like to see, if we're going to see a real candidate, Liz Cheney. She's a better candidate than Donald Trump. That's real. And it really doesn't matter because we have to work together as one nation under God. And that's just the key. Because the Pledge of Allegiance is the only thing you ever really learned in public education. Because I don't think I recall anything else. Of course, I have command of the King's English, and of course, I understand what that is. But most people do not. They can't articulate their concerns. And what are the concerns anyway? Because a closed mouth can't get fed. They tell you that every day. But as for the word public, I'm waiting for the public to have a real conversation, because failure should not be the option. But when the black community fails to address this issue, they have a disproportionality, a disparate impact based on behavioral issues in Clark County for the Negro population. And for whatever reason, the Negro people have not stepped up. And I said, well, what the hell? We got Usher running around town. We got Snoop. We got, all these famous black people. And y'all can sit up there and pretend that they ain't paying taxes. But goddamn, that's how America operates. Entertainment capital. And this being the entertainment capital of the world, black people are putting their fair share of money in the pot. Well, goddamn, how long is Mr. Bojangles gonna dance? Because Stevie Wonder certainly was here, and so was Sammy Davis Jr. That's that Mr. Bojangles. But we can't seem to come together, and I really don't care. I'm not running for office. I'm not running for anything. And quite frankly, I'm just trying to see if black people were willing to level up. Level up means don't be afraid of this shit. It's absolutely nothing. Know who you are and step the hell up, because it's unfortunate that so many black children are not in public education by the age of 7. And then I would like to know what Nevada has to say, because I know those assessments were happening. And I don't know, as there are a limited amount of pediatricians that could help support the people in getting real public services, because that's how it happens. I mean, education and Department of Health and Human Services and the Public Services and the Department of Health and Human Services all tied together. It is nothing. It is nothing but what we support to happen. But we have all these bottom feeders, because that's what I consider them. Bottom feeders, because they ain't teaching you nothing. You don't know shit if you're still in your box and trying to figure it out on your own. And that's just real. You only know what you know because you've experienced something. But if you ain't experienced shit, I don't know. I'm just really trying to understand what I'm listening to sometime. Because it's not about the ability to get out here and say, oh, I want to run for public office. I want to, because when you get in that seat, you're allocating dollars that are supposed to make an impactful impact to the community and whatever you're doing and whoever you give the money to. These people have the nerve to bring, I'm sorry, I am 65, and for whatever reason, I had 3 children, and none of them ever got into the Boys and Girls Club in Sacramento, California. And that's just the way it was. They didn't get any services. But here, they would like to give all the federal dollars for the 0 to 5 and increasing child care to the Boys and Girls Club. And I'm just saying, well, how is that going to happen? Because they said they were going to use the money. They didn't lie. They said they're going to build their parking lot and build storage area. And that's how they're going to increase child care. And I'm saying, oh no. I don't know how that works. I mean, because they were really just kind of disgusted because they said they had bought some land in a dilapidated area. You should hear people when they start talking about folks in poverty, because it's just real. I'm going to turn my camera because it seems like it's going crazy. But anyway, this is an iPhone 14. You see the quality? It ain't shit. So when you start spending your money and expect to have quality, understand this is the kind of quality that you get. It's not very good. And when you spend your money, you should expect to get the best of the ability to, utilize it. What can I say? But anyways, I'm going to take a break and I'll say I'll be back. But I'm just trying to kick it out there. I'm going to have a couple of talks a day because it's just time for us all to step up. Occupy, Donald Trump gets slammed. Oh, could he get slammed? Because there are a lot of people that like rules violators. And when you are a rules violator and you just violate the rule, then whatever goes. It's just whatever. The word is e pluribus unum. Out of many there's one, and out of one there may be none. But I have a podcast over there on Spotify, Parent Empowerment Half an Hour. Come check me out. Or Citizen Anderson on Podbean. But until we meet again, boo, y'all have a blessed day.